What's shaking, Enid? I'm Lisa Rao with the Garfield County OSU Extension Service. And my guest today is Dr. Gina Peak, the Housing and Consumer Specialist for OSU. And we're here to talk about earthquake safety and preparedness. And today our topic is identifying safe spaces in the home during an earthquake. Where do we go? And so, Gina, where do we go? How do we know that something's a safe space is in our home?
Okay, so if an earthquake happens, say for example, we're just sitting at the dining room table having our dinner, the best thing that we can do is drop, cover, and hold on. Drop, meaning drop to the floor underneath the table. It's best to be under a sturdy object during an earthquake. Then we're gonna cover ourselves the best that we can, and we're gonna try and hold on. So, I might crouch down and hold on to the table if I'm able to. So again, drop, cover, and hold on.
So maybe one hand holding on,
Sure.
the other hand over the back of our neck.
Sure.
Why do we want to cover the back of our neck or our head?
Well, we want to protect our vital organs the best that we can during an earthquake. And the best way to do that is, again, in that crouched position underneath a sturdy object.
I read some research from UCLA after the night, I think it was an earthquake that they had in the 1990s. It was a huge earthquake in California. That they said that 66% of all of the injuries were caused by falling objects. What would that mean?
So, for
in our
example, some people, I think, are under the impression that it's best to run outside during an earthquake. That's not the case at all. The best thing you can do is stay where you are. Again, drop, cover, and hold on. If you run outside, for example, and something falls from a building, it might land on you. Or if the brick veneer on your home pops off, it might land on you. So again, it's best to stay put where you are, drop, cover, and hold on.
I know the old adage was to get in a doorway and
Right.
hold on to the door frame. Why is that not safe?
It's no longer, it's not true. Basically, your doorway is not, it's not going to provide you any sort of structural safety. Again, if you're standing there, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to things that might go flying. So again, if you're on the ground underneath something, you're going to be in your safest position.
What if an earthquake happens in the middle of the night in our home? Should we remain in our bed? Should we crawl under the bed?
If an earthquake happens while you're asleep and it wakes you up, stay in your bed by all means. If you are able to, put the pillow over your face without suffocating yourself, and you want to lay there until the shaking stops.
Should we position furniture in our house in such a way to prevent, I know possibly windows can break?
Absolutely. Let's go back to the bed just for a second. Making sure that nothing heavy is hanging over the bed. So for example, pieces of art or things like that. Anything that potentially could pop off the wall, bounce off and land on you, nowhere near where you're going to be sleeping or where you're going to be sitting and spending a lot of your time.
Okay. That should apply for children too, maybe
Absolutely.
cribs and or child beds should be moved away from windows then?
During an earthquake, if you have the chance of anything breaking or shattering, for example, a window, absolutely, you're going to reduce your risk if you move things away. Same thing goes with cribs. If you have any sort of decorative art above a crib, you might want to consider moving it so it can't fly off the wall during an earthquake.
I bet most people never even think about those things.
True.
But I know when my house feels a tremor from an earthquake that's even far away, it feels like we're sitting on top of a washing machine in the spin cycle.
Right.
So what else can we do to prepare our homes?
Well, you want to go around and look at your furniture and make sure that you don't have any decorative, fragile things that are sitting up high that can fall off. So, for example, in the last earthquake, my diploma fell off of the wall and shattered. And although, it took me time and effort to clean up the glass, but it's something that I could have prevented.
All right. Well, thank you, Gina, for sharing with us today. And if you'd like more information on earthquake preparedness and safety, contact the Garfield County OSU Extension Office at 237-1228, and we'll keep the shake, rattle, and roll out of our homes.